On the day of their engagement, the woman was shocked to discover that all the gold jewelry she had bought had turned silver. Seeing the gold bracelets and necklaces on her fiancé's mother and sister, the woman realized what had happened and immediately demanded their return. However, her fiancé's mother acted like a scoundrel, accusing the woman of being ungrateful and constantly spending her fiancé's money on jewelry. Little did she know, she had paid for the jewelry herself. The woman looked at her fiancé, wanting him to come forward and explain. However, he sided with his mother, appreciating the hardship his mother had brought him up, and urged her to be more accommodating. The woman's blood pressure soared in anger. She and her fiancé had been in love since college and had finally gotten married. She had never dreamed that she would see a different side of him at this crucial moment. But it wasn't too late. The woman quickly came to her senses and announced the cancellation of her engagement in front of all their friends and family. Upon hearing this, his mother sat down. Unable to bear it any longer, he quickly forced a smile and asked the woman to retract her words. After all, the woman's dowry was quite substantial, a newly renovated house and a 400,000 yuan car, totaling over 2 million yuan. His fiancé's mother's eyes instantly lit up. She wouldn't let the money go to waste. However, the woman was already deeply disappointed. From the very beginning of the engagement party, his fiancé's mother and sister had been constantly challenging the woman's perspective, urging them to prepare 10 auspicious gifts. Unexpectedly, his fiancé's mother pulled out a pile of items she'd taken from the hotel room and laid them out on the table in front of all the woman's friends and family. Her stinginess immediately humiliated the woman. But out of consideration for her fiancé's feelings, she decided to swallow her anger. However, just as the woman's father asked about the 88,000 yuan betrothal gift, his fiancé's mother suddenly changed her mind, saying that it was a blessing for her to marry her son and that she didn't want to pay a penny. Upon hearing this, the woman's face was filled with disbelief. Little did she know that her fiancé's mother was so arrogant because her fiancé had been preparing for the civil service exam for 5 years and had finally passed this year, becoming a city civil servant. His sister, also overjoyed, felt that her fiancé would have a bright future and that it was her honor to marry him. Little did she know that her fiancé's food, clothing, housing, and transportation during those 5 years of preparation had been entirely supported by her. Even the engagement party had been paid for by her. Afraid that relatives would find out and hurt her fiancé's pride, she hadn't even told his mother or sister. Her good intentions were met with ridicule from their entire family. She was overcome with frustration and accused her fiancé's mother of being unreasonable. However, she was accused of being greedy. Her fiancé, standing by, remarked that his mother had raised him since childhood and that the 88,000 yuan dowry was indeed too much, telling the woman not to take it. The woman thought this was the limit of her shamelessness. Unexpectedly, her fiancé's relatives. This immediately changed the women's perspective. They all thought 88,000 yuan was too much. They said the man had already paid for the engagement banquet, so how could the woman have the nerve to ask for more?